Hello, friends. This is Mike Vasquez. It is week 50 of 52 in the No Beer for a Year challenge. Just a couple more weeks to go and to reach the milestone of not drinking for an entire year. And what a year it's been. I think I'm very excited to take some time after the end of this month and reflect, go back and watch all these videos and check all the photos that I've taken from day one up until this point and reflect and button up my thoughts in terms of what it all means and where I've come from and where I'm at now and where I plan to go with the journey. And I'm really excited. It's something that has been life changing. It's impacted me and other people that I care about in a positive way, and I'm excited to see it continue on into the future. So this week's quote that inspired me is from John F. Kennedy, and he said, "There are risks and costs to action, but they are far less than the long-range risks of comfortable inaction." And I think that ties well into a lot of the things that are undesirable actions in a lot of our lives. Things like drinking, smoking, uh, excessive shopping, overeating, drug use, and there's tons and tons more. Those things give us a short-term brain reward. They give us the dopamines and the adrenaline and the short-term fix that overcomes whatever it might be, an insecurity or a deep down issue that we haven't dealt with, or grief, or all those other things that we use as justifications for our behaviors. And long term, those things are not sustainable, and they can have immediate and definitely long term impact on our lives in a negative way. So what I did and the journey I took may not work for you. Other people are uncomfortable oftentimes when we make change like this and initiate our own path. Whether it's society or friends or social norms, all those things, there's a lot of breaking of those things that we have to do to forge our own path, and it can be intimidating and uncomfortable to do those things, to break into our own path rather than following the ones that other people have taken. And it takes a lot of energy and strength to do those, but when you start forging your own path, you find that sometimes others will follow. They just didn't see the path, or the path wasn't right for them, and that's fine. But over time, I've realized that I have to do this for me, right? That the more I can focus on my self-betterment and taking care of myself, in the long run, probably is going to be best for those I care about as well. And that's an interesting break that I've seen along the way. It was just noticing that I had to be steadfast and continue to have to be steadfast, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to go do this because it doesn't fall in line with my goals, and that could be eating things a certain way, or pulling myself out of a situation where I wasn't sure if I could have the willpower to not drink, or whatever it was, making those sacrifices, right, to achieve the bigger picture goal, the long-term goal, versus falling victim to the short-term reward. And that's been a big part of this journey, and I think it will continue to as well. So taking action, realizing that it contributes to the long-term goal versus, even though it's more difficult right now, is going to reap a lot of benefits moving forward into the future. So 2 more weeks to go, and I think I don't plan to have a drink on January 1. I think my relationship with alcohol is going to be very, very different moving forward, and I'm still interpreting that, figuring out, is it something that I can, just have one every now and then, and I have to be very cautious and realize that it may not be, for some people it isn't. I feel like I'm in a position where all the positives that come out of it are outweighing the short-term reward that I would get. So if I go somewhere and want to have a glass of wine with dinner, but stopping at that point and making sure that it's just that one, but also being cautious of slipping down a road that I was in before to, I don't want to go back there, and if it means not having a single one ever again, so be it. I landed that with cigarettes too. Cigarettes, I've tried and realized that it's not for me. If I go one, it's going to be all of them. So that's what I'm taking into consideration, being open to that as well, that it might just not be part of my life ever again. But what's the worst that's going to happen? I'll lose 30-something pounds and find the career of my dreams and feel and look a lot more happy and influence others in a positive way. That's not so bad, right? Hope you all have a wonderful Christmas. I love you. I miss you. Thanks for joining me in the journey. We'll talk to you next week. 2 more weeks to go. Bye-bye.